Hello, ma'am. Did they ever teach you the earth was flat at school?
Sorry?
Did they ever teach you at school that the earth is flat?
Yes.
They did? Wow. Can I ask what year were you in school?
Oh, a long time ago.
A long time ago. Well, we think that we've been lied to about the globe. That's all designed to demean God, diminish our connection to the Creator. Yeah? You know it.
Yeah.
Good luck, man. All the best. You've been lied to. Earth is not a globe. You can't live on a ball, man. How are you going to live on the underside of my cup? You could only live on the top of my cup, right? And the drinks in your thing there, when they settle, do you know that the liquid in my drink and the liquid in your drink would be horizontal to each other and parallel with each other?
I don't have the brain cells to do this today.
Just think that water cannot curve. The surface of your swimming pool or any lake that you've ever been to is flat, right? So if we made the lake 10 times bigger or a million times bigger, you'd expect the same result. And so we're saying that our lakes, as you come down the mountain, are all flat bodies of water. The next lake is simply horizontal with that until you get to the sea, which is also horizontal. The word horizon and horizontal are the same word. And everything is parallel from that. You know, we do building on water level. So you know why it's important? Why I go around telling people
Go on,
this?
tell me why it's important.
I'm 54 years old. I got a family. I could be doing other things. But the truth is that God created us to carry God. So I say to people, essentially, you are God, you are Christ, or whatever they talk about in religions. That the universe centers on each of us individually, uniquely, and most specially. In other words, you are the queen of your universe. And I can't harm you, I can't mess with you. I've got to attend the golden rule, which is to love your neighbor. But increasingly, people don't want to accept that. Religion has stolen that, and the science of Darwinism that says we come from monkeys, we evolved from apes, and all that sort of stuff, that diminishes the idea that, whoa, what if this Eden project was made for you, perhaps even by you, for you to say, hey, I'm going to come down in the avatar like this, and I'm going to have certain experiences, challenges. Is it going to catch me up and I'm going to get lost in that? I'm going to break myself there, or I'm going to find myself and maybe I don't know this, but maybe have a spiritual kind of upgrade through to the next life or the next incarnation. But you don't die. You should know that you are, right now, you are an incarnation of your higher self. And I was an atheist
I
at
believe in
47.
reincarnation.
Yeah,
But I don't believe the earth is flat.
Ah.
No, neither do I.
Well, what if I was to suggest to you that the earth is actually an egg or a ball, but we don't live on the outside of it. We live inside it. And that in all fruit in nature has to have a skin. You know, an orange doesn't grow its fruit on the outside of the peel. It has to be contained inside of the peel. So in a natural world, an egg or anything, a bark, the tree has to have a bark, otherwise it dies. So in our world, to have no roof, to have a world that there was no roof, this when you open that can, there was an equalization of pressure. It's thermodynamics, right? The only way that pressure would stay in there is until you broke the can seal, right? And then the pressure's out.
Yeah.
And the same would apply to our universe, our world here, is that if there was no roof, the pressure would immediately be drawn into the vacuum of space and it would go away, just in the same way as the pressure went away in that tin. So we know with a pressure system that we must be inside an orange, inside a universal egg. And the ancients used to talk about that. Because you think about it, it may not make sense, but if you think about it, name me one lake that has a round surface on it, like that you're going over the hump of the water and down the other side.
But you're not. But there's so many levels to an ocean. There's so many, like the sea, the sand, all of it. It's all at different levels. Therefore, it's all going to be flat for the fact of it's building up on things.
It's building up on things. So if you had a swimming pool with a shallow end and a deep end, would the water surface have a different level, or would it still be the same level?
It'd still be the same because most of the water's down at the bottom. Therefore, with the water being down at the bottom, it all being at the top, it's all flat. The earth is round. There's nothing you can say to me which is going to make me think otherwise.
Okay. You mean round like a frisbee?
No,
or round like a ball?
Like a ball,
sphere?
like a sphere.
Okay, so if it's round, are we going down to Africa when we travel there?
No, we're going around.
When you say around, because I could go around this Bath and come back round, yeah? I could, say, put a magnet here that made my compass always point to the center of Bath, and I could walk all the way east and west around that. But it doesn't mean that it's a ball. And the same is true with our Earth. We sail and fly east and west all the time, no problem.
But if it was flat, aren't you falling over the edge?
One second before you... That's a good question. But we've never... Well, I mean, a ball is only edges, right? There's only a tiny little bit. If you've ever tried to balance on a ball, it's very difficult. So there's a tiny bit of ball that you might balance on, but the rest of the ball, water in nature, will fall right off of that.
But the gravity is holding it down.
That's a theory. That's the if you like, when we're 6 years old, you say to teacher, she says, water is sticking to the underside of this globe. And you're like, show me. She's like, no, you can't show, it's too big. And it's a gravity thing, you know. But in reality, we know that every body of water that we try and collect must stay inside of its container, otherwise it will spill away. So a lake, as I say, I can give you a 1,000-mile lake that is still level, that if you could test it with a laser, you would find that it's still level over the surface of that water. But if it's a ball, then it means that when you're going to South Africa from England, as I just did recently, it's an 11-hour flight, I have to be traveling over a quarter of the distance of the entire globe. And that means that I'm changing my aspect by 90 degrees. In other words, if my camera was now pointing this way, it would actually, in South Africa, it would be pointing that way. If I used the gyroscope, it should show me the same thing, because the gyroscope, you settle at start at the beginning and it shows you where your level ground is. But a gyroscope is a mechanical device that they've been using for 100 years in aviation. And all they do is they spin that thing up, it tells you where your horizon is, it tells you what is level, and then when you fly for 5 hours and when you land it says you're still flying level.
Yeah, but there's genuine proof that the Earth is a circle.
Like the space photographs, like of the Earth.
Yeah, like
Okay.
all of that.
Okay.
How are we explaining that?
Okay. There's a guy called Rob Simmons who works for NASA. He's an artist, and he says it's my job to take data and turn that into the blue marble. That's my job. He was responsible for the blue marble, the first image of Earth back in whenever. And the only other photograph we've apparently got came from 1971, 1972, from the last moon mission. Now, think about it like this. You're going to go and visit, Grand Canyon or something really impressive. You're going to get like 100 pictures of that, man, from different angles and so on. But they go to the moon 6 times, and only on the last time they think, maybe we should take a picture of the Earth from space. Maybe it's because it's so hard. So all of the images you have in your mind of Earth from space, all of them are composite. All of them are CGI. And none of them, by the way, no globe on Earth can any scientist or anyone point to and say that is the anatomically correct globe, exactly like the Earth
but it's
looks.
a photograph. How can you explain it if it's a photograph?
Right, she just posed
Well, if
a
I
good
took-
question. She's just posed a
Well,
really
if it's a
good
photo- let
question.
me
What
ask-
was the question?
What's the question?
So if the Earth's flat, right, what side are we on? Are we on the top side or the bottom?
How could you be underneath the table? You only eat your dinner on top of the table.
Okay, but then are you falling off when you get to the edge of the table?
So what you mustn't think of is that there's like an enclosed, like a disc that you could fall off. It's more like an enclosed orange. Think about what you see in nature. In nature, everything has to be enclosed.
No, but I'm saying, right, you're saying the Earth is flat, right?
I know, I'm saying your sea is level.
Right, no,
I
right,
think it's
I'm-
round too, but I think the universe
The
is...
floor says the Earth is flat, right?
Yes.
You're saying the Earth is flat. I think it's round, personally.
Okay.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Okay.
But, like, if you're saying the Earth is flat, you think it's literally a straight line? No. Then
Okay,
the
so
Earth isn't
let's
flat,
just say,
is it?
okay, so that's why people are very confused by the phrase flat Earth. They don't understand what that means.
But if you
let's
say
just
to
say,
someone the Earth is flat, you're
Yeah.
going to think it's flat.
do you think that means that people don't think there are mountains?
Right. We're going to be off.
Because I'm going to base it. No,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
going
going
to
to
base
go
it.
get lunch.
Think about if you're 50 meters above sea level in this country or anywhere else in the world, is that from the same sea level or is it a different sea level? Because all topographical maps use the same 0 for sea
You
level.
let me know when you
Yeah?